To string or not to string? That is the question. Hello there! We're doing our very first Game of Apps YouTube channel giveaway. So you could win either one of these, two toques, different styles. This one here is has no fold in it and it's shorter. This one's longer and has this fold in it. They're both embroidered with the Game of Apps logo in our colors right here. So why are we doing this giveaway? Well, shameless plug, we want you to subscribe to our channel and we want you to like this video and put in a comment. So that's how you enter. Subscribe to our channel, like this video, and put in a comment as to why you want to win one of these. You get to choose which one. So if you're selected, then you can tell us which one you want. We will be doing the draw on December 31st, 2020, so at the end of the year. So this will be a nice New Year's present for you. And if you win, we will announce this in this channel, and then we will mail this to you via mail. So if you're watching this after December 31st, 2020, then sorry, we've already given it away. But stick around because we'll have other giveaways throughout the year. So again, subscribe to our channel, like this video, and put in a comment, and you can win one of these. So today we're going to be talking about this one useful little method called toString. So let's walk through a scenario. So here we have a dish class. It has a number of properties. And over here, I've created a dish object. So dish1, variable called dish1, and we call the constructor new dish, and we have this dish object. We've assigned it some values for its properties. So the name is California roll. The description is some yummy fake crab with avocado wrapped in rice and seaweed. Makes me want to eat some already. Price in cents is 7.99 cents, so $7.99. Now, as you've noticed in many of your codes so far, printing out values of variables is a very good way of debugging. It allows you to test, to check the values of your variables at different parts of your app, different parts of your program in its execution sequence, and to confirm that it has the values that you expect it to have. So here, let's say we want to see what the values of dish1 is. So I've written this print statement, dish1 is, and then I print dish1. So let's run that and see what happens. Okay, great. So it's running. Let's go into our debug window. Let's look for our output. All right. So here's our output. Dish1 is, and then it has this com.example.myapplication.dish at 9FFD5CE. What the heck is that? Well, let me help you interpret this. So this here is my application name. So my application ID com.example.myapplication.dish. So this here is the class. So it's telling us that this is an object. It's an object of class dish. This dish belongs to this namespace or this app, com.example.myapplication. And then the actual object, the dish object, resides in this address. So this is an internal memory address in this within Android, within the Java virtual machine, and that's where the dish1 object lives. If we ran this again, potentially this address could change because depending on how the system allocates its memory, it could reside somewhere else. Now this might be interesting if we're doing some hardware debugging or something, but I don't really care where this object lives. What I want to know what are the values of these properties here, the ones that I've just assigned. So this is where toString comes to the rescue. So let's stop this. Let's go back here. And what we can do here is we can override a method called toString. So there's a method in all classes, Java classes called toString, and we can override it here. So I start typing toString, and it tells us, yes, there's a class called toString that we can override. and then it'll say these are your parameters, your properties. And if I go OK, you can see here that now it returns a string that's nicely formatted that contains all of our properties. Name, description, price and cents, image, resource name. It even has my private properties here. Now I may not want to print my private properties, so if that's the case, then I would just delete these 2 lines, or you can just leave it. So it's up to you. Let's say I do this. Now let's run this again. So notice I haven't changed this. I'm still calling system.out.println, so it's still exactly the same. But let's see what happens in my debug. Oh, there, I just saw it. So here, now that debug now changes from the name of the class to its and its address to something more interesting. So it says dish, the class name, and then now here it has a list of all my properties and the values. Name equals California roll. Description equals some yummy fake crab with avocado wrapped in rice and seaweed. Price and cents is $7.99, and the image resource name is null. So this is much more useful, right? So basically what toString does is the idea is this: you can override toString and return whatever is a good string implementation of your object. So it's up to you. In this case, what's good enough for me is to have each property giving the value for each one of my properties. And that's the default that when I accepted the autocomplete, this is the default. But you could change this to whatever you want. So if you have some object, let's say that's a network object that's talking to some external server, you could potentially in your toString return the address of the external server. Just whatever makes sense in your context, but basically return a string that's a good representation of this object, so that when you're debugging or when you're printing this object, whatever you return here makes a lot of sense. All right, so hope that's helpful to you. You can use this as much as you want in all the objects that you're creating. It's a very useful tool for debugging. Talk to you next time. Bye-bye.